You might not have heard of it, but the Norwegian Nye Ice Shelf is one of the last great ice masses on Earth, and it's beginning to fall apart. It's not just melting, it's losing stability, and the signs are getting harder to ignore. This isn't just a distant problem. It's a warning of what's coming for the rest of the world. As we watch this place fall, we're reminded that some of the Earth's oldest and most fragile things are vanishing before our eyes. The Nye Ice Shelf is not just ice. It's a mirror of what's happening to our planet, and we're staring at it. The Norwegian Nye Ice Shelf is a massive, ancient structure of ice stretching over 200 kilometers. It has stood for millennia, slowly flowing from the interior of Antarctica into the Weddell Sea. It is not just big, it is also incredibly thin. Parts of it are now so weak, they are losing mass at an alarming rate, much faster than the surrounding ice. This isn't just a loss of ice, it's a loss of stability. The ice shelf acts as a dam, holding back the vast glaciers behind it. If it collapses, those glaciers will accelerate their flow into the ocean. The consequences are far-reaching. Even a small collapse could raise global sea levels by several meters, threatening coastal cities and ecosystems worldwide. This is not an abstract event. It is happening now, and the signs are clear. We are witnessing the first major collapse of an ice shelf in recorded history. This isn't just a distant glacier. It's a part of Earth's heartbeat, and its collapse could echo through the planet's climate for centuries. The ice that has stood for millennia is now melting at a pace that outstrips even the most dire predictions, and we're standing on the edge of something irreversible. When this ice shelf gives way, it will not only release ancient trapped gases, but also accelerate the loss of land-based ice that has yet to melt. This is not a story about one place. It's a story about all of us, about the world we are leaving for future generations. We may not feel the collapse of this ice shelf directly, but its consequences will ripple through the oceans, the weather, and the very foundation of life on Earth. In 1995, the Norwegian Nye Ice Shelf first began showing signs of instability. Cracks spread like ancient scars across its surface, and the ice, once a symbol of permanence, started to yield to the pull of the warming ocean. By 2002, the cracks had grown deeper, and the ice began to break off in massive chunks. It was a slow, almost silent collapse, but one that carried the weight of an entire ecosystem on the edge of the unknown. In the years that followed, scientists watched in growing concern as the ice shelf's front line receded. Each meter lost was a meter closer to an irreversible tipping point. The 2010s brought more than just data. They brought urgency. Satellite images revealed a dramatic acceleration in ice loss, and the shelf became a symbol of the planet's slow but inevitable transformation. Today, the ice shelf stands at a crossroads. Every year, it loses more than it gains, and the weight of history is pressing down on it, and on us. Imagine a giant frozen wall, taller than a skyscraper, standing on the edge of the sea. It's made of ice, but it's not just ice. It's a giant, ancient memory of Earth's past. This wall is melting, not from the sun, but from the ocean below. The water is eating away at its base, like a slow, quiet storm. It's not just about the ice. It's about the world we live in. This ice has been there for thousands of years, holding back the ocean, keeping things balanced. Now, that balance is tipping. The ice is melting faster than it can grow, and the ocean is rising. It's like the Earth is breathing, but it's struggling to keep up. We don't have to imagine the future. We can see it happening now. And it's not just about the ice. It's about us and the world we leave for the next generation. The Norwegian Nye Ice Shelf has stood for millennia, a silent sentinel over the Antarctic seas. Its massive expanse, frozen and unyielding, has long been a symbol of Earth's resilience. Beneath its surface, a vast network of ice flows and subglacial rivers remains hidden, shaping the shelf's slow, inevitable movement toward the ocean. For centuries, the ice shelf has acted as a barrier, holding back the vast ice sheet behind it. Now, that barrier is weakening, one fracture at a time. The setup is simple but devastating. An ice shelf that has endured now faces the weight of a warming world and the slow unraveling of its structure. The ice shelf is a floating platform of frozen water, held together by its own weight and the pressure of the land beneath it. But once it begins to thin, the balance tips, and the ice starts to crack. As the ice thins, it becomes more fragile. The weight of the ice above creates pressure, but the ice below begins to shift, creating a slow but inevitable motion downward. The ice shelf is not just a wall of ice. It's a structure in tension. The edges are under the most stress, and as they weaken, the entire shelf becomes more prone to breaking apart. Once the ice shelf starts to fracture, the water underneath begins to flow in. This is the first step in the collapse, where the ice is no longer supported by the ocean below. The ice shelf is a fragile thing, held together by a balance that is slowly being lost. And as it breaks, it reveals what lies beneath: unstable land, warm water, and a cycle that is already in motion. Once the glacier has thinned and the ice shelf has weakened, the next step is the formation of cracks, those silent, creeping lines that run like veins through the ice, signaling a slow and inevitable fracture. These cracks deepen and spread, not in a rush, but with a quiet, relentless determination, as if the ice itself is trying to break free from the grip of the land below. As the cracks grow, they begin to connect, like fingers reaching out, pulling the ice apart from the land, until the shelf is no longer one solid mass, but a patchwork of broken, drifting pieces. This is the clever twist. The ice shelf is not just breaking. It is becoming unstable in a way that accelerates its collapse, not by force, but by giving way to the ocean's pull. It's not the ice that's failing. It's the entire system, a delicate balance of gravity, pressure, and temperature, now tipping into a fate that cannot be undone. The ice shelf is not just a wall of ice. It is a frozen archive of Earth's past, a silent witness to centuries of climate shifts. And now, it is breaking under a weight it was never meant to carry. Satellites track its retreat with precision, but the data is more than numbers. It is a map of slow, inevitable collapse. Every meter lost is a meter closer to disaster. Beneath the surface, the ice is not solid. It is a labyrinth of crevasses, fractures, and hidden voids, each one a potential path for collapse. The ice is not just melting, it is disintegrating. Scientists measure the ice thickness, the speed of its flow, the rate of melting, but even their models struggle to predict the full extent of what's to come. The ice is behaving in ways no one fully understands. The science is clear, but the consequences are not. What happens when the ice shelf gives way? The answer lies in the past, in the ancient currents that once shaped this region, and in the future that is now slipping away. Imagine a giant ancient mirror, frozen in time, reflecting the sky and the sea. It has stood for millennia, holding back the ocean with quiet strength, unaware of the weight it is about to bear. One day, the mirror cracks. A small fracture appears, then grows. Silent, but unstoppable. The ice, once solid, begins to shift and groan, a slow, ominous whisper of its own undoing. The mirror shatters, not all at once, but piece by piece. Some fragments float, others sink, and the sea takes what it can. The world watches, but it is too late to stop the fall. And in the end, there is only the sea. No mirror, no reflection. Just the cold, unrelenting tide, moving forward, as it always has, as it always will. Before you go, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And tell us in the comments what you'd like us to make next. We read every single one. Thank you so much for watching. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end.